Hello, I am Caleb from NetMonkeys, and today we have Cass, who's our AI specialist, who's going to discuss an AI and how small businesses can actually utilize AI or adopt AI in their businesses. Hi, Cass.
Hi, Kayla. Lovely to see you. This is going to be such a great series we're running. It's going to be really interesting to get into all of this.
I read the white paper, and in the white paper, you paint a picture of how AI can empower SMEs. So, what excites you the most about this transformation, and what kind of impact do you hope to see in the UK business landscape, by the way?
What I really want to see is the power it gives the SME to compete with those larger companies within the market. Being that AI can take up some of the smaller jobs or perhaps take some of the cost away from the businesses, gives them the ability to compete with those companies that perhaps have larger workforces, more money or more data. That then enables these guys to come up and actually disrupt the market. They've got some fantastic ideas out there, but they're limited by their resources. So this should hopefully open up the scene and then create a much more equal footing for everyone to stand on, especially in the Midlands, which is an area that's kind of quite low on the AI field at the moment. So being able to upskill those areas and give them the opportunity to grow is going to be an absolute massive impact locally as well for people.
You emphasize the importance of AI being accessible to businesses. So what steps do you believe are crucial to ensure that SMEs aren't left behind in this technological, revolution that we are kind of facing right now?
The investment in curiosity, going out there and discovering what's possible for companies, exploring the opportunity bit with your workforce as well. No one knows better what kind of tasks should be taken up that should be got rid of as much as the people actually doing the jobs themselves. So speaking to the people who actually do the jobs, speaking to others around them, build a network. So other companies that necessarily do what you do, but go out and see what other people are doing, seeing how they're doing it and build on those ideas as well. You can also collaborate with other people who are also in the industry as well to build something bigger and better, which is awesome.
That's great. There's something I'm really very passionate about lately, which I've seen across different platforms, is AI human hybrid services. So can you elaborate on how this model can help SMEs access specialized expertise that was previously out of reach to small businesses? So just speak in detail about that.
Yeah, so there's some great examples out there on the market that are just starting up around services that were traditionally done by human beings that were incredibly expensive. They take a lot of expertise and experience to actually deliver to businesses. We can now harness all that information in the background and this data to actually drive these decision making for the smaller businesses. So, for example, business consulting that traditionally would cost thousands of pounds a day to actually have someone in and come work in your business. You would have to give them context around your services, around your processes and the culture of your company as well. By turning these into AI-driven platforms, you can have the experience of these people in the background whilst actually inputting the data yourself, have that regular check-in, bringing the price point right down, which means the smaller businesses can afford to have that insight and have that expertise in their business without having to pay this huge amount of money.
What companies or initiatives are you particularly excited about in this space, in this AI space? What companies or initiatives are you really buzzed about?
I'm actually loving the stuff in the personal health kind of arena. There's some companies out there that have been looking at taking the data from your wearable technologies, so your smartwatches, there's your rings you can get, being able to predict things like burnout before they happen. So being able to stop the occurrence itself and having to then treat the issue, you can stop it from happening in the first place. There's several companies out there who deal with things specific to businesses around presenteeism, which is where you're at work, you're physically present, but because you're burnt out, you're not actually contributing to work anymore. You're not the most useful you could be, and you're certainly not happy. So if through watching your sleep pattern, watching your stress levels and your blood pressure and things like that, they can start to indicate the direction you're heading. They can help steer you away from that, which is fantastic for you, not just workplaces having happy, collaborative employees, but it's also really great for us as human beings as well. So that's really exciting to see happening.
That's really valuable, I must say, because I think I need that too, as a matter of fact. So it's really great. So the white paper touches on the evolving skills needed in the age of AI. So how can SMEs proactively prepare their workforce for these changes? And how do we ensure that they have the right talent to thrive?
It takes some effort within the business, but it's learning programs. It's exploring the skills that are actually within your business. The best AI people actually come from within. You can bring in people with technical skills, you can bring in developers and engineers, but no one knows your business like your people in your business actually do. So it's very important to remember when you're developing the processes to either automate them or bring AI into the process is you don't want to lose your essence, because that's what your clients love. They love dealing with you. Otherwise, they'd be off with some other generic company that do them at speed. So have a look at your workforce and develop these qualities like curiosity, like resilience, the people who love learning, the people who actually have pride in the business to actually try really hard to keep it going, keep it alive and build on it. And then you can teach them the skills. So internal learning programs, and that doesn't have to be formal qualifications. You can have learning platforms that are full of things like YouTube links, articles. You can have discussion forums that run maybe once a month. Everyone gets together and throws ideas around or shows things they've learned. And that process of sharing and collaborating is really beneficial to businesses, because no good idea comes from a single person. It comes from that back and forth, the building on that idea. And that's how we come out with the great ideas. So building that culture within your business to learn, to collaborate and to share, that's what really benefits business in this world of AI now.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, I like what you said about the leisure essence, because I mean, that's what makes you at the end of the day, I mean, who you are. So your business, even though you're trying to use AI to support your business, having that essence, your personality, your brand, I mean, your team together would play a massive role in helping you, I mean, achieve the outcomes you want to achieve. So I think that's really great. So in the article, you highlight the importance of ethical considerations in AI adoption. So what frameworks or guidelines should SMEs follow to ensure responsible use of AI in their businesses?
It's kind of twofold. So looking at the fact that don't do it for the sake of doing it. Just because we can do things doesn't mean we should. So it's important to remember when putting AI into your business that it's great analysing data and repetitive processes, but what happens if the market changes? What happens if your customer base changes? The world's forever moving. So we don't want to replace people, because they're who know your clients, they're who know the nuances about what happens in your business. So making sure that we're sustainable in the employment sector is really important. But then also on the flip side of it, giving people in your workforce the ability to report things when they start to go wrong. So maybe it's a framework where it's a simple Teams message, or it's a forum that they can highlight something to, just to say that, hold on, this doesn't look quite right, or I think it's going a little bit sideways. Having that open communication where they can bring issues to you and discuss them with you openly before they happen, then allows you to actually build a framework that kind of keeps going and it keeps it alive, rather than it imploding inwards on you.
Sounds good. Sounds great. Your white paper explores a wide range of AI applications, from AI assistants to robotic process automation. For an SME just starting the AI journey, what would you recommend as a good starting point, actually?
I think start small, because what you don't want to be doing is learning about the technology and how to implement it, as well as learning the process at the same time. So start with something you know, something simple. Things like meeting notes are always a really good example, because it's something adding extra and adding benefit to our lives. And everyone seems to kind of enjoy them. It takes away that boring factor for everyone. No one really likes writing up the notes. And you can pay attention more to the conversation you're actually happening. So the conversation you're actually having at the time, rather than looking down, trying to make notes at the same time and missing a point in a conversation. So you start small, something that probably had quite large impact, but in everyday is quite a small process. The one phrase I've always loved is the most sexiest thing in AI is the least sexy process. It's that boring stuff underneath that we don't really give much consideration to, and we just kind of accept nowadays. So start with that, build upon it, and then also, again, speak to your workforce. These are a great source of information. Hold workshops and test the AI as well. There's a reason that branding comes out from people like Microsoft and people like IBM, which is around playgrounds and play. Because as children, that's how we learn. We learn by playing with things, learning how they work, learning the pitfalls. So have a few services there that are cheap and you can learn how they work, a couple of AIs that you can interact with LLMs in the business and see what works best for you, because they all do it slightly differently as well and have slightly different outputs. So get people together, give them the ability to play, to explore, and see what actually comes out of that, because quite often as well, it's not what you set out to do as well. There'll be something discovered along the way that you learn from it all.
So, you discussed the potential impact of AI on the workforce. How can SMEs effectively manage the transition to an AI-powered workplace where employees are equipped with the necessary skills that need to thrive, by the way?
I think having that, it's to do with culture yet again. You can implement physical things all day long, but it's around keeping that communication open, being honest about why you're doing things, having that feedback loop as well that goes all around the business. Everyone be able to have a voice and raise their hand when something seems to be like it's going wrong. and giving people the opportunity to put their hand up and say, I want to do this as well. There may be people with backgrounds in your business that you're completely unaware of. They may be doing a completely different role to actually what their passions in or their qualifications in, just because they happen to have ended up in that job. So giving people the chance to give you feedback, the ability to put your hand up and say, I want to do this or I want to take part. Then also as a leader, it's really important to remember it's okay to say, I don't know, and to ask people for ideas and ask for help. AI is really just designed to emerge in the workplace, and it's really difficult to Google and find the right answer. So being humble and saying you don't know everything, but you're going to go and find out the answer for them as well. So the supportive network as well.
That's great. Final question is around the rise of AI agents. So how do you see these agents evolving in the coming years, and what new opportunities might they create for SMEs in the future?
I think initially there's going to be a little bit of a flurry where we try and do everything with them as we get overexcited and try and work out where they fit. However, I think we'll slowly start to retract back again to keeping humans in those roles that are most important. So the building relationships with our clients is really important. People want to talk to other humans a lot of the time. And I see them kind of coming into play in areas around assisting us. So taking up those things that need to be handled quickly. So things like booking reservations online. We can do those via text message already and things like that. But people want to phone up, handle those kind of queries. They're coming into the space of mental health. So in those moments where you need to ring and speak to someone, but maybe the phone lines are busy, we don't physically have enough people on the phone lines to actually take that call can actually have quite dramatic effects. So having something that can handle that initial point of contact for them that sounds human and actually behaves like a human could really have some beneficial impact to someone's life in that moment. So I think we'll start to see them evolve into those spaces where they're needed most, and then start to retract them out those places where we really want real humans as well to build a relationship with us. I think for SMEs, it's important to look at those repetitive processes, those things you do over and over and over again the same way. One, they're not fun for humans. It causes disengagement in the workforce, and people tend to either kind of wander off and do something else. They lose concentration. They don't try to the best of their ability. So taking away that area of the element of work that we kind of accept as a necessary evil of our work, we don't have to anymore. But certainly as time goes on, that price point is going to drop as well. So watch the big players, watch the mistakes they make, and let them make them, and then learn from them, so you don't implement them in your own business.
That's good. That's great. All right. I think that's the end of all the questions. Thank you very much, Cass. It's been a very, very insightful last few minutes. So thank you.